everybody to the flower patch. My name's Iris Smith and I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Right guys, today we're going to do something different. I'm going to get straight into it. I say different, probably not to you guys, but to me, because I don't do it very often, because where we live people don't tend to ask for it. We're going to do, and I was also asked, somebody sent me a photograph of a wreath that they've got and they don't know what to do with it. And funny enough, I've only got one of them, but a 10-inch one. I don't know what the size the ladies were. It looked bigger than mine. So she asked me if I've got any ideas. So I've told her I'm going to do it with today, and she can watch the video and hopefully it would inspire her to give it a go, basically. So the wreath that we've got, first of all, should I say, we're going to use deco mesh, just one colour, and it's the neutral, and it's this. It's a 10-inch one. I've cut it at 20 inches long, and I've only cut 9 pieces on for this because I'm only doing half of the wreath. So again, it's a 10-inch one, and this is the wreath that the lady has got, where you can see through it. She was worried that nothing would stick on, so we're going to show her. I'm looking forward to this. So what I've done, I've got some pipe cleaners. I have it on a roll, guys. I've got different colours and I just snip off as I need them. I've also got single ones as well, but I got the white one. I haven't got cream to match the colour of the deco mesh, but white, oh, it's all right. Anyway, we've got that, and I've placed it apart. I've placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the outer side around the wire frame, which is sitting just around here, and then I've placed in between them on the inner side where the next wire frame is another one. So we've got 4 in the center and 5 around the edge. So that is what I've done. I tend to place in the ones in the center as I'm working, while I'm doing the ones on the outside, so I don't get these caught. So that's what we're doing. So it's only going to be a small one. I say small. I know my friend Sandra always laughs because she says when I say small it ends up big. So let's just say I'm doing a small wreath. How it comes out, who knows? So I've cut down off of the main stem some euphorbia. I'm sure it's euphorbia. So I've cut some of those down. I may snip a few more down. I've cut more than I need, but I've just cut them down and thought, well, if I don't use them all, I can use the rest for another project. So we've got some of that. I've also got some, is it dusted? I think thyme, is it, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong, because concerning herbs, they all look the same to me. So maybe thyme, rosemary, I don't know, but we've got some of that as well. And then I've snipped off a bunch, some of our maidenhair fern, just a few pieces of that also. So that is that. And then I've also just pulled one. I haven't snipped at this because I don't know if I'm going to put it in. So one stem of our flowering eucalyptus. So that, I've got lots of this colour, but I'm running short on the white. So we've got that one as well. This is part of the colour that we're doing. Well, some of it. So I've also got out, I found these as I was rummaging through where the astilbe is. I found some of these little, like a very light browny texture, tan and white texture. I thought furry. I thought let's use those. They've not been used yet, so let's use, you know, place the odd one in. They look lovely against the cream mesh, so we'll add those in. So I've got out some of this like orange coloured, burnt orange coloured astilbe as well. Again, we're going to add that in. It's going to be a mixture of colour of that. And I've also got out these, I've placed these on picks. I have got two of the stems here, guys. That's how long they are. I've took them off and placed them on picks. And so I can just dot these around singular and cut them shorter. They are very pretty, very pretty. And I've also just placed a few seed heads on picks as well. Instead of using the full head, I've pulled away at them, took them off and placed some smaller ones on the picks also. I've also got out some, now these are a cream, ivory cream colour. Now I always get confused. Are they peonies or are they cabbage roses? I'm not sure. They look very similar to each other. They may be cabbage roses, so we're using those as well in a ivory colour. I've also got out some, now these are little baby peonies with their own bit of foliage as well. Oops, a daisy. Making a mistake already. So we're going to use just this one bunch. I'm not going to use more than that again because it's only a tiny wreath. And then I've also got some like a champagne coloured, again these are what I've used for wedding roses as well. Some rose buds as well, some smaller buds and some bigger with their own little foliage. So that's the colour that we're going to do. So if I place them all together, which I do like to do, as you can see, then add a little bit. This is how I go when I'm going through my bucket. Then add a bit of that. And then, you know, some of that for wispiness. And then a bit of darker green. And some lovely airy foliage. And then a bit more solid to our arrangement, and that's what we've got. Isn't that pretty? So that's what we've got for the floral and foliage. Now I have taken out a 1-inch ribbon. I've not used this one yet, so let me just take the packaging off. I like 1-inch ribbon, guys. And this is in a burnt orange. Because we've got burnt orange in the colour scheme, I just thought one, I haven't made the bow, one coloured ribbon would be perfect. So that's what we've got. So we're starting from scratch basically. The bow's not prepared, the deco mesh isn't attached, so we're going to do it for the lady from the beginning. So first of all, again, cut your deco mesh to it by a 10-inch high roll, and cut 9 pieces off at 20 inches long. So I'm going to bring the camera down so you can view, and I'm going to bring it slightly closer as well. You know me. Let's see how we get. I always seem to get that in the way. So if I do it like that. So there are our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've spaced them a bit similar apart. I haven't measured them. I've just done it by, you know, eye. And then in between each of these, I've placed one at the top, around the centre of these. So I tend to push those in the centre when I start. So I've just wrapped them all in here. So we'll take one off at a time. And I'm just going to do the normal, the basic for the lady. As she did say, she's not been doing artificial floral design for long. She is a beginner at it. So we'll do this one of the, you know, few easiest ways to make your deco mesh. So as you can see, your deco mesh will just naturally turn under, like so. So what I do, you can place something at the top if it's just keeps coming towards you. Go wrap the end over, so a couple of times, 1, 2, like so. So you're forming a bit of a loop, or not a loop, a hole, or is that the right word, guys? But you know what I mean. And then go up in the centre, grab it in the centre, your deco mesh, and just climb your fingers up to the centre. And then where it rolls over at this end, turn that over a couple of times, 1, 2, and then just grab that with your fingers in the centre. Then you will end up with something what looks like a dicky bow. So then go to your wreath where your pipe cleaners are. Excuse me. Some people have it like that. Some people place it horizontal. It doesn't matter which one you prefer. Sometimes I place it horizontal on the bottom, and then the one on the top I place vertical like that, so it overlaps this way. So just place it in. Get your pipe cleaner, twist, and that's your first one. So then you get your second. Let's just place that there so you can see again. Roll it over, 1, 2, walk it in the centre, scrunch it up as you get near the top. Allow this to go over, 1, 2, and then meet up with it and pinch it all together again. So you've got that lovely dicky bow shape. Go back to your wreath, put it on the next one, overlap it with the one on the outer side. And then you've got that. I leave these on, you know, for now. So then we'll go and do it again. You can use whatever colour you wish. It doesn't have to be, you know, the colours that I'm using. 1, 2. And then turn it upside down when you're placing it on your wreath, so the bit here is on the bottom. The piece, you know, the side where you did the folding. Again, I overlap like so. And you can, you know, fluff it up around as you go along. You can cut these shorter as well. You can cut them to 10 inch. So you've got 10 inch square. 10 by 10. I tend to turn the first one over because it, you know, we don't want the fraying. And then I go 1, 2. And again, your dicky bow. There is others that you can do which are a little bit more time consuming. I have done others. Nobody purchased it again, you know, because I don't think many people in Mansfield where I live are really up for the deco mesh. It's either that or they don't really see it, or haven't seen of it or heard of it. I don't really know. So turn the bit where you cut over first, and I do that, and I go 1, 2. So basically it's probably 3 times I turn it if you, oops, what am I doing? Then walk your fingers up. In the centre, you walk your fingers up. It can be a bit fiddly to turn. If you find it fiddly, get a clothes peg and hold it together there, or, you know, something what will hold it. I used to do a clothes peg when I first started, because I found that I just couldn't get my fingers right. And then place this one. Again, I'm placing these horizontal. And that is those on the outer side done. So I've placed the pipe cleaners down so I don't get these caught. And again, you can fluff up. So now we're going to start on the inside and do the same procedure. So I've got used to holding it with my hand at the end here, turning it over and doing it with one hand. And then we do that now here. And again, you can now go, if you wish, and this way. So it's vertical instead of horizontal. It may look horizontal to you guys on the screen, but I'm doing it vertical. So it's going in between these two downwards. You can, if you wish, as well. I always say, if you can't start at the, you know, if you find doing the top part hard, start and turn that one first. Place something heavy on top so it doesn't move. Then do this one and move up with it. And then grab it when you get to the top. That's if you find it a little bit awkward, you know, turning it, you know, the other way. So I'll show you that again. You know, some people have their own way of doing it, but I turn it this way at okay. Place something heavy like your snips or even a peg to hold it in, and then go back to this end at the beginning, and then just walk up. Like that. Just find the other one, just here. And again, just overlap them. And one more. Oops, a daisy. Bring that back up here. Oh, it's stuck to me. And just gather. And then place that one in here now as well. And then just fluff that one up also. Now you can, if you want, go all the way around. And if you go all the way around, then all of this will be full on this side like that. So I'm just doing it like this. So that is now our small little 10-inch deco mesh wreath all placed in. So I can do, I'm trying to think of how I want to do the bow. Do I do it at the bottom or at the top? I may have one at the bottom and one at the top. So let's get our wreath. I'm going to ribbon. I'm going to just give it a little dovetail. If it starts to fray, then I will just cut it at an angle, which I have a feeling it may. That's not very good. That's not very deep of a dovetail, guys. No, it's going to, I don't like that. So we'll do it that way instead. So we'll place our wreath aside. And I'm not going to do big wreath, you know, where it's enormous. So I'm going to, the tail ends I'm only doing at 6-inch on the top up here. I twist, even though it's the same colour on either side, I still twist. It's just so it holds it in a bit better. So I'm going to 6-inch on one side, on each, well, on each side, should I say. Measure, go up to number 6. Then go to number 5 on there, go through the dowels, twist towards me, go back through the dowels, go to number 5 on this side. And then go to number 4. And then go back to number 4 on this side. Then I'm going to, I don't twist because I don't need to, because I'm not carrying the loops on. Let's cut it at diagonal. And because there's only one loop, one tail end here and one at the top, I'm not really a fan of that. So let's just cut that at a sharper point. Place that in like so. Bring this one down. off. So that is just a simple bow. I've not done anything fancy to it. I've not added any other colour. Now, I'm not putting any wire through it because I'm going to attach it to my pipe cleaners. I've placed on this cable tie just for an extra support so it doesn't move. And all I'm doing now, as you can see, is just bringing my tail ends to the bottom first. I always sort my tail ends out first and just give those a little curl. You can do that with them, and then I just fluff up. I'm just doing a very simple, like a horizontal bow, or you can place it in vertical, however you like. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do anything, you know, where it's all the way around. I'd rather it stay like that. So then I get my wreath, and I'm going to use the inside pipe cleaner or to do this. So do I do it like that? Yeah, I'm going to slightly have it offset, get hold of my pipe cleaner, place one through one side and one through the opposite. Just give it a little bit of a twist like you did when you attached your mesh. So that's all I'm going to do with that. And then I get that out of the way, can sit there. So that is how I've placed on the bow, just at an angle. Now I could place another one down here, but then with that I'd place it at this angle so it looked like it was going across. I wouldn't place it in the same angle. I would probably do a smaller one, but just at the bottom, so I've got a few little tail ends. So let's try that one as well. Again, it's not going to be as big as the one I've just done. So I'm going to do this much smaller. So I'm going to only do a 4-inch tail, guys. And I'm not going to do as many loops, and I'm going to just go to 4.5 inch for the first loop. Twist, go to 4.5 inch. And then go to 4 inch, twist, go to 4 inch on that side, and that's it. I'm not going to do a long tail end on this either at the bottom. And then I'm just going to place an extra tail end on. So it's not as big as the other one. Do the same, get my cable tie, pull it off, just bring my tail ends up, just give them a little tug. They will, you know, you can manipulate them. And I'm going to do the same style where it's like that, but it is smaller. So then, because we've gone across that way with that one, I will go across this way with this one. So it's going down. So I'll use the one. Just move that here. Place one piece going through one side and the other coming through the opposite. Get them together and just twist the cable tie. And then just fluff it up to how you want it to sit. So that is just how I want that to sit amongst my deco mesh. I could place that one there, like so. So doesn't that look pretty? So that is all the ribbon that's going in. We don't need no more. So let's move those out the way, like so. So that's all the preparation done for our deco mesh and our ribbon. So now we're going on to placing in our foliage. First, let's just move the floral down there. Let's get these. So I want to use our maidenhair fern. If I can just get the band off. And now with this, because they've got holes in the wreath, the grapevine wreath, you can stick things to your deco mesh where your pipe cleaners are. You know, you can stick the odd thing actually onto or through, because you can see some pieces of the grapevine are tightly placed together. So where's my clippers? And I've left the pipe cleaners on in case I want to wrap something around it, like a floral, if it's slightly weighty. So I've left those on for now. So what we're going to do, we're going to start at the top. And I'm just going to attach this in there. Just where the pipe cleaner is at the bottom of this deco mesh here. So I've gone sort of in with that one, so I'm going to come a little bit further out with this one. So I'm just lifting up. If I can see, I can get through a little bit of the the grapevine. So if I show you, and just make sure that's the right way, I lift up and you can see where the pipe cleaner is, and I'm placing it there onto the pipe cleaner. so it's got something to stick onto. And I will come out a bit and attach it to this pipe cleaner. So I'm going like a zigzag. And we'll go in. I don't mind having some on top as well. Again, things will hold that down once we go along. And I'm just, you know, if you feel that, you know, put a little bit of, quite a bit of glue on if you feel that or you may be a little bit scared that it's not going to stick. And I'm going to go to this one, this pipe cleaner. You can stick it again to your deco mesh as well. It will hold, guys. Let's bring one up here. I'm going to go, I think, through that bit of grapevine, what I can see. I think we'd like one up here as well. Let's see if I need any more. I've got one left. Maybe bring that actually around here. So I've got a bit of green sticking up there. Let me pull that last leaf off. So I've got a bit more of a stem. So I'm going to go in and place that there. Just so we've got a bit of greenery in the centre. So doesn't that look pretty? Even just with the green and the burnt orange ribbon, just looks pretty as well. So, oh, I wanted to do these. I'm not going to place these in, you know, as they are, because they are quite long. I am going to snip them down, if I can, you know, just to something like this. We don't need it really long. I'm going to bring again some of these on the outside, some on the inside. So these have got a sturdy stem, so they've got something to attach, you know, or grab onto, and they'll be good to go through that grapevine because of a bit thicker stem than the maidenhair. Let's just cut a few down. Let's just start with those. Let's move those out of the way. I don't. So again, go through. And that's all I'm doing, is just attaching them around the side. And some of the grapevine that I can see, again like this thicker stem, you know, when they're closer together, I can push it through and the glue will attach to that as well. So that's what I'm doing also. So if we show you, again, I'm putting a bit of glue on so I know it's going to start, you know, stick. So I've got the grapevine here. There's a thinner pieces together here. So I'm going to push that through that grapevine like so. And it's held itself in. Because once it dries, it will attach to the grapevine and some of the frame that's, you know, above it. And we'll go under here again. Let's just hold. There we go. Just cut some more. And one. And I've got two single pieces here. I'm going to go under here, just where the pipe cleaner is. I can see a bit of grapevine that I can place that through. So that will also stick to the pipe cleaner and as well as the grapevine. Now I can bring, I've got, these are on single, so I may just place on pick. So there's 4 single ones. So what I'm going to do with these as well is just bring these up above. So I'm going to go way around where the bow is. Do the same here. Oh, did you hear that go through the grapevine, guys? I don't mind them sticking up like that. Again, there will be things placed in what will just push them down slightly. So I'm not as worried just yet. And then we'll go around here, this bow. I can see a bit of grapevine there. There we go. And then our last one we'll place just around here. So doesn't that look, oops a daisy, doesn't that look pretty? So I'm thinking as I'm going around, I can see still some of my Chanel sticks or pipe cleaners, which I'm going to trim right near the bottom on some of them. Like the one for the bow. I'll leave the one around the edge. It's the ones on the top that I'm going to get rid of. So that is our lovely wreath so far. Now I'm just considering whether they may be too much, but who knows, probably. Right, let's pull some of these out. And I'm going to dot these around as well. So I'm not aiming to cover up the mesh. So I do want to see some of the mesh. I can feel a bit of wood, guys. I'm just trying to get it through. There we go. So yeah, I'm trying to keep the mesh seen. I know some people cover the mesh up depending on the style that they're doing. Again, I'm trying to keep it relatively small. So I just want to see all of this. So let's bring one here again on the outside, around the end bit. Bring one up the top. I've got one down there, so back up the top. So I'm going in a zigzag again with these. I'm creating, you know, a balanced placement. Oh, that's touching some wood. Oh, there we go. It's gone in. So yes, I'm not looking at, I've formed the my boundary or my perimeter or my line, linear. I've formed that with the deco mesh. Now these elements I'm adding for the foliage, they are you could say the decoration to the piece. I don't want that one there. And I've not chosen any foliage that is solid leaf. I've just chosen the foliage that is fine, wispy, because I want to see that deco mesh. Some of it may get hidden a little bit more, but I'm not aiming to cover it completely. That I may need, do I need one more? No. So now we've got in our little, I don't know, is it rosemary, thyme? We've got that in as well as our flowering eucalyptus, our maidenhair fern. Again, you can still see our deco mesh. Now, I'm not going to put those in because that will cover it. So there and no. So let's get these out and have a look. Oh, they're all in single stems. Oops, the daisy, I've just pulled one off. So just by adding something slightly different tone of foliage. Just get that glue off. Again, these are very thin. So I'm attaching these to the deco mesh. I'm not going through the wood with the, you know, the grapevine wreath with these. They are very, very thin and flimsy. So I'm just looking for a bit of where I can attach. Oh, broke that one. I don't want to overcrowd it with these as well. I think these are just like ferns. So I'm not going to place in too many of these. And then one more where I've just pulled it out. Let's glue it back in. There we go. And then place one just on there as well. Right, so I don't need no more of those. I don't need those either. So let me just wrap those back up. Right, I'm going to hang on to these astilbe for now. And let's have a look which, again, I may not use all the floral. I just picked out some. I know one flower's popped off here. So let's have a look where that flower's come from. I'm terrible for spotting them. Oh, there, I found it. That was good. Right, there we go. So, I'm considering not those. So I think it may be these two. So let's just cut a stem, and these again are push-ups. Now the centre one always never seems to have any foliage on. Isn't that a shame? So yeah, these are push-ups. We've got a little bit of like seeded, I don't know if it's astilbe, a little bit of a curly foliage, and some little white or cream or ivory, should I say, flower and its own foliage there, leaves. So what we're going to do, let me just cut that. Again, don't forget that you know, even though your bow looks, you know, is sunken slightly, that's fine. I'm fine with that. You know, you can see the bow because of the colour. You know, hence the reason I chose the burnt orange, because you would still see it, so it wouldn't be hidden. So with these, right, where's the ones with the wild flowers? So I've got 2 of those. And then I've got 3 of the little peonies. So let's just push them up a bit. So that's 5. So I'm going to start, that one can go around here. So I'll have 1 here of this, and then 1 will be there. The other one with the peonies on will be there, and then these 2 with the little flowers on will be in between the peonies, so to speak, like that. Now the peonies I will place on top, then with the little wildflower I will just slightly come down a little bit so they're not all creating a ring around. So again, I'm going to do the zigzag with these as well. So I'm just placing them there because that's where I'd like them to be. I'm going to cut them. And I'm going to bring this, is going to go, in fact, here. Right near the end. So it's sitting on top, right near the end. And I'm going to bring that one near the end as well. So, but now we're on to the one with the little flowers. So that's going to go slightly down a little bit because we're creating that zigzag. So that will come probably where the maidenhair fern is. So I'm going to attach that. Down here. So as you can see, it's not right at the bottom, it's just slightly here, down, and then we'll go back up. I'm balancing it out, making it look like it's growing from different areas and angles. I'll bring that bit of that ribbon through there. Just hold on to that. Bring that one there again, just slightly further down. And then this one around the end. In a similar position to what this one here is. So that's that. Let me just check. Everything's fine. Get that little sprig of twiggy bit off. Yep, that's fine there. So that is what we've created at the moment. Doesn't that look wonderful? Again, you don't have to fill it even once you've put your mesh in. I always say that, but that's just my style. I don't always fill it. I have filled it where you can't see the mesh, and I've used the mesh as my base for me to glue things on, and you can barely see the mesh. But you know, you don't always have to do it like that, guys. A lot of people, you know, do them where you see the mesh as well, because it adds that interest and that beauty. So we've got these. Look at the ripples on the petals, just like you would if you've got real roses. And I think that's wonderful. So again, with these, I'm going to bring a bit further down at the bottom, because there's a bigger bud and a little bud. I'm just going to bring them down here. So we've got one. I'm going to place them 1, 2. So it's in between that, and that. So one there. And then one there. So I'm only using 4, guys. So that's okay. I don't mind using 4. So let's get those roses in. Again, let's cut it down. So I'm going in between the peony here and its little flower with these roses. And I'm going around the bottom, and I'm going to push it through some of the grapevine, because I know it will sit beautiful and it will hold because of the thickness of the stem. So again, now with the flower and this peony, I'm going to place the rose under there. Like so. And then do the same here. I'm just lifting it. Just so I bring the, you know, the floral down to the colour as well, and the floral down to the bottom. That's a bit long, that stem. Let's just see if I can attach it to that. There we go. So that's our roses in as well. So if you look from the sides, there you have your roses. Isn't that pretty? Now, you may not really see these up above or around the sides even. So I don't think I'm going to put those seeds in, because they're virtually going on the similar colour to the deco mesh. So we'll leave those out. Let's look at the astilbe, burnt orange colour, add that in. So let's get some of these in. Oops, a daisy. So I'm just going to cut these all at a similar length. I'm going to bring, in fact, some of these in. So I've got some, if I use these on the side, I've got some to bring in. And I don't want these, you know, popping out too long. Again, I want to keep in within the boundary of our deco mesh. So again, I'm starting from the beginning, and I do that. So then I push it through that grapevine. There we go. So that adds a little bit of burnt orange around here. When I say I'm bringing it to the bottom, I don't mean right underneath the deco mesh. I mean, I'm bringing it to the bottom, the bottom row of the deco mesh. The top row is these up here, and then the next one's at the bottom. I'm bringing it to around that area. And I'm just slightly again, so you can see a bit of that colour. Stick some to your pipe cleaners. I'm going to take some of these off again as I go along. I don't need them now. I've come to the conclusion they're not needed, guys. So let's take this one off. Let's just wrap that around. We've got one here. No, just that. Let's cut. Let's just cut this one. So yeah, some people cut it off at the beginning. I hang back a little bit because I've cut it off at the beginning before and realised halfway through, oh gosh, I could have kept that on, and it could have helped, you know, hold in a heavier stem that I've got. So I tend to hold back until I realise I don't need them, and then I cut them off. And then when I cut them off, I leave a little bit, like about half an inch, just so I can wrap that around something, you know, wrap it around. I don't cut it right to where I've twisted it, in case I cut that bit and it comes undone. So and then the last one around the bottom layer of our deco mesh, and that is what we have. I've placed them here so they're within the boundary, they're not sticking out too far. We've kept it like that, because if you make a wreath bigger than the grapevine, you know, too much bigger than the grapevine, then they wouldn't, especially if you've got the grapevine on show, it looks odd. So I haven't gone as big as I usually would, basically because of the size of the grapevine. Just, you know, I always like to take that into consideration. So I'm going to bring a few of these around the middle or the top deco mesh. Just pop a few in, just for that little bit extra. And I'm attaching these to the actual deco mesh. I'm not attaching them to anything else. Or if there's another stem there, then I will attach that to another stem. But if there's not, then I'll just attach it to the deco mesh. And it will hold, guys, it will. you know, especially the lady who's not sure what to do. They do hold. The deco mesh is quite good stuff. We'll bring one up here where this bow is. I think one more. Just around there. I've got 2 left. I may as well use those. Where can I place these? Let's just cut them at a certain length. That's a question I got asked, guys. How do you know how long to cut the stems? Because they said that they sometimes cut them too short or too long. I think it's with practice. When I say that, that's awful. That sounds like I'm patronising, I guess. But I think it's because I've done it for that many years. I sort of like can see the length of the stem, and as soon as I look underneath, it comes to my head approximately, not exact, but approximately. So sometimes you'll see I've cut that like that, and then I try it, and then I take it away and cut it again because I have cut it too long, you know. So I don't always get it right. So, you know, it just, I can't really answer it. You just learn it, I guess. It just comes as the more you do it. You know, it's not nothing you get, you know, you have to learn or get taught. So I just think it comes with the more you do it, and you just, I can't say anything else than that, guys. So we've got these little flowers. Aren't they pretty? So we're going to put some of those in, and then that will be it for this wreath. Again, keeping an eye on making sure I can still see some of the deco mesh. What have I got? 3, 4, 5. I want more than that. 5, 6, 7. Right, there's 11 there. So we'll use as we go along. So I know for definite, and this is another thing, I always know for definite because of what arrangement I'm doing. When I'm placing these in, I know around the side I'm going to need 5 or more. So I always grab 5 to start with and cut them at a length that I know that's how long I'm going to need them. Again, through practice, I guess. Sometimes some people may only just want 3, so that's fine. So 1 at the top, middle, bottom, you know. So, but with this occasion, because we've got it, you know, all little flowers mainly around, I know, excuse me, I know I want these placing in a group, you know, cutting the 5 down. So I always start at the beginning. So what I've got here, I'll end up here. So if you're not sure how to place them, I place 1 there to start with. Then I go 2, 3 in the center. Number 3 is always the center of the wreath. Then 4 is just here. And then number 5 is right at the end, like the beginning. And that's how I place them in. Hi, honey. Hello. And that's how I place them in. So then you basically got it at around 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Is it 10? No, one moment. No, it looks like 1 o'clock from here. I'm trying to look upside down. 1 o'clock. 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock, probably 7 o'clock, and then you've got one around 5 o'clock. So you've got them like that. If you look at it like a face on a clock. And then when I bring the others up at the top, where I've placed these at the bottom, I will place these in between to form the triangle position, which will then balance these flowers out, if that makes sense. So let me start. I'm going to place this one in first because it's moving out. I know it's in the position I want. So again, this one's going down the bottom. Let's place this one in. Again, I'm attaching this. If I can just move that out of the way, to another stem. I don't mind that, you know, coming out or being wispy. Then this one, attached to there. And you can push some of your stems through the deco mesh. If you've got thin stems, you can push them through. So they basically, have I stuck that one in? Oh, I did. Oh gosh. So they will, you know, push through. If they're as thin as what this one is, they will push through. So that is those. So now I'm going to bring them on the above, and because I'm bringing them above, I'm not cutting the stems as long, because all I'm going to do with these is just stick them to the deco mesh or another stem like this that is in there. So that's all I'm going to do. So we use 5 around there. So I'm going to be using 1 to form the triangle there. So 1 to this, so it's 2, 3, 4. So I need 4. So cutting the stems slightly shorter. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm cutting them shorter but long enough to attach to something, and long enough to hold on. I'm not cutting them too short. So I've got 1 here, 1 here. So I'm going to bring this one up here in between. So as you can see, there's one, there's one. So it's down at the bottom, up, down. So there's your triangle. So that's that one. So then I use the last one on here to form the triangle there. I use that one, and then the other one here to help form my next triangle, which will be up here. So it goes like that, if that makes sense. So I'll place this one around here somewhere. And then I'll do the same, use the last one at the bottom here. And this one will go up here. And then our last one, which will go around here somewhere. It doesn't have to be exact, you know, you don't have to do it exact. Now I've got 2 again left. So I could either make it a bigger clump here or bring it in between each of the bow. So I'm gonna, or if you feel you would like it somewhere else. So I think if I just move that deco mesh. I may bring them in here. A bit further inwards. So I've got this one here, this one and this one. So I'm going to form a triangle here by placing it here. Oh, here's my cat. So I'm going to place that there to form another triangle, but on top. And I'm going to do it here and here to form a triangle by placing this one in here. So I'm doing exactly the same. So I'm going to go there with it. So that just move the bow there. Bring that one down there. Again, just entwine your bow and your, you know, with all your foliage and everything. I feel, let me just look. I need a bit of foliage here, around here, and a little bit around here. And as you can see, there's nothing coming through here because I've stuck things on to this mesh and onto other stems and onto the chenille sticks. So it's all sticking together. So I think I'm going to use this one, pull some off because this is what I do. Put that back on the floor, pull some off here. What you got on you? Yeah, what you got on you? Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Somebody's in the mood. Somebody's come out of bed. He's been sleeping on my son's bed. You got mood on? You got mood on? Yeah, I think you have. Well, Mummy won't talk to you then. So I'm going to place these on single picks and put these where I feel a little bit more. Again, I don't need solid leaves. It's just a little bit more foliage where it's lacking. So always check as well just to see if it looks a bit bare in places. Now I feel I want to place a bit of foliage where the centre of the bow is here. Because looking at it from this angle, I can see it's a little bare. So, oops, I've got it stuck. So I'm going to cut 3 pieces, definitely shorter. So I'm going to bring this and add, and I'm going through the go on guys, deco mesh. That's right, I knew it was something. Now around here, up above, not down below, above, it just looks lonely. It needs a little bit of something on it. And I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna place one around here, one around here. I'm going to do the stems slightly longer to start with because I don't know where to put these yet, so I'm just cutting them longer in case they need to go around the bottom. So one, I think there, and one there, yeah. So that I'm just, so I've backed myself up and saved myself by cutting them longer before I cut them shorter, because there's one needed around here and one, where did I put it? Here. So there we have it. And again, as I say, I do not mind wispy bits. So that is our wreath for today. A different style of grapevine where it's very see-through. Add on some deco mesh. So you've got like a solid base for you to place your floral in. And that will help then create something really pretty. I've been wanting to do like oranges for a while. I just, you know, kept thinking, well, people think it's an, you know, autumn, you know. But some people, you know, I've made it look, in my eyes anyway, guys, slightly spring, you know, a spring effect with the flowers, but just in orange. But they do say, don't they, spring colours are like orange, yellows, things like that, especially in tulips and things. Yeah, so I have done it, but it can be, if I'm being quite honest, you could use it for autumn, a late summer, early autumn wreath as well. So it could be a you know, maybe a three seasoned wreath, you know, for spring, summer and autumn. So you get more out of it, having something out there what would blend in with 3 of the 4 seasons. So, or you could keep it out for winter if you like, I guess. So that, you know, really does look pretty. My husband will like this because he likes oranges, reds and yellows. So, but yeah, and adding 2 bows, you know, also adds that little bit of interest. So I'm going to get my easel out. Oh, that's a lady asked me about an easel. You can, the easel I got, you know, you can get them off at eBay. Excuse me, Marley. You can get them off at eBay. The lady looked on eBay, but you want one. She asked me the measurement of mine. I've not really ever measured it. I don't know where they measure it from, whether it's the floor to here. So, but I know you'd need one more than 43 centimetres. You see, this one is from here to here. This is 52 centimetres. So if you're watching, Susan, this one's 52 centimetres from the floor to this point. So, and if it's, and I've got this all the way a bit higher up. Let me alter the camera first. Let me bring it slightly back. Let's do it there. So yes, from here to here I've got 52 centimetres, but if I, oh, it's not that, is it? I don't know. That's as high as it goes, Susan. So from here to this point, 52 centimetres. From here to this point, mine is 74 centimetres. So that's if you see this video. Now, let's put, oops a daisy. Have I placed it on right, guys? I need to bring it down now. And this is also, go for an adjustable one. So you can move it around. And yes, I do. Another question I was asked, do I like working with an easel? Yes, I do. When I'm doing customer orders, I work with the easel. I don't do it on the, you know, worktop. I work from the easel, and it just helps me. That's how I like it. You know, it's better for me. I can get the angle of things. You know, I can see what I'm planning. You know, well, not planning, but what I'm doing more so than having to keep turning it around on the bench. So let me just get rid of all of this. Oh, I got all mess from all when I got everything out. So let's move that in as well. So this is a 10-inch grapevine wreath. I don't know what type of it's called. I only ever brought one just to try it myself, but I have tried it with some scraps, then took it apart, so I do know how to use it. But I didn't do it with deco mesh last time, so but I decided to do it this time with deco mesh. Last time I just placed a bit of foam and attached the foam onto it and did my arrangement around it on the foam. But you can do it with your deco mesh. Attach your pipe cleaners on like you saw at the beginning. Again, the measurement says a 10-inch high roll of deco mesh, and you I think it's 10 yards, I'm not sure, but I cut 9 pieces on this. And I placed 5 around the edge and 4 on the inside. And I did the basic ruffle deco mesh for the lady, as she was stated again, she was just a beginner. So she's not long been doing it. So, and then I use the ribbon. I love this type of ribbon. And it's beautiful. And it's a beautiful colour. I want to get more 1-inch ribbons, because I find that they give off more of a elegant look instead of the big bulky thick ribbons, you know. But that's my own personal preference, guys, what I like. And I think that by placing one that side and then one that side, that gives off a different angle. You know, you can place them in the same angle if you wish, you know, that's your choice. And then I've been wanting to do oranges for a while, and this, when the lady asked, I thought, oh, let's do oranges finally. And I haven't gone for big solid leaf foliage. I've gone for airy foliage, because again, on this arrangement I wanted to see the deco mesh. So I've gone for the thyme or rosemary, whichever it is, the flowering eucalyptus, and this maidenhair fern, you know, which is airy. What else did I go for? Oh, and things like the astilbe and things like that. So that's what I went for, and I didn't place it like I would if I did a grapevine wreath and do big bits of it, because again, I wanted to see the grapevine. And then the flowers, I just did those, and I kept within the boundary because the deco mesh was my boundary. With me having little wispy bits slightly higher, I don't mind that, because again, wispy bits, they're airy, you see through them. So when you look at this, you will more than likely focus on this area. So when I looked and I turned it around, placed it on, immediately I looked at the bow. I looked at the bow, and then I spotted the deco mesh around it. So that's what I was aiming for. So I hope that's helped you. And I hope that if you've got a wreath like this, guys, you know, you bought one just to, or just to see what you could do with it. Because, I mean, they are pretty. Really, I like unusual things. So, but you wasn't sure what to do. There's one of the ideas that you could do. So if you have one now, and you've seen, and you've got deco mesh as well, give it a go. Give it a go, guys. It's only a win-win. It really is a win-win. and just use if you want to see your deco mesh, just use wispy flowers. If you don't, and you just want to use your deco mesh as a base to stick things onto, then that's fine, and then cover it with whatever. You can go all the way round. You don't have to go, you know, half of the way like I have, like a half moon shape or crescent shape. So you can just do that and have fun. Have fun. They're beautiful, beautiful things. I wish a lot more people over here where I live would go for deco mesh ones like this, because, you know, they are beautiful. I don't really do the deco mesh ones with all the attachments, the big attachments. That's not my style. They, you know, some people do fabulous things. I have done the odd one, you know, but I wouldn't do it on a regular basis because my style is more like this, you know, so a bit gardeny, I guess. Country gardeny look. That's just my signature style. So have a wonderful day. Please subscribe, share and like, you know, to the world, to everybody who you know, and have, you know, keep creating, make something joyous and beautiful for yourselves or for somebody, or just as a hobby or for a family member, but just to enjoy it, guys. It is a great hobby or a job to be in, you know, and to see the end results that you produce, it's just so joyous. So again, please subscribe, share and like, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Stay good and don't be naughty, and have lots of fun creating, you know. God bless. I love you all. Keep your comments coming. I caught up with all the comments this morning, guys, so sorry if I didn't reply until today. So, and have a wonderful evening as well. So me and my Marley, he blends in with this colour, don't he? Don't you? Yes. 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 So we'll see you tomorrow. All the best, guys. Bye for now. Bye bye. You're just waiting for something to eat, you. Yes. You're gonna have to wait. Yes. Right, let's do a close up. Oh. Right, there's the bow, guys, and I love this sort of bow. Ribbon, should I say. It's very good quality. It stands in place how you know, or sits where in place. It's just wonderful. There's the flowering eucalyptus. There's our other orange coloured little flowers. There's the little flowers off where the peonies were. And there's the baby peonies there as well. And our wonderful, if I can get to it, our wonderful champagne coloured roses. And then our astilbe. I think this is fern or rosemary. I don't know. Not fern, rosemary. What else did I use, guys? Oh, and our maidenhair fern there as well. And this stuff is furry. It's got a bit of a glitter to it, crystal look, but it's furry. Just by adding a little brown to it as well, makes it look, as you know, beautiful as well. And then our deco mesh. So I hope you all had a wonderful day. Oh, there's the wreath a bit closer up. Look how big the gaps are. But you can always do something, guys. So I hope you had a wonderful day, and take care. Keep crafting and creating beautiful arrangements. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.